So look, bro. Today I'm finna be telling y'all about the time that I ran off on the plug, right? And before I get started, like it sounds like I ran off on the plug. Like that sounds like I ran off on some big, hard, like scary dude. Nah, bro, that's not what happened. This is a little bit more lighthearted than that. But anyway, without further ado, I think I'll just hop right into the story. So this happened, I want to say, about 4 or 5 years ago, right? It was about a year before I met my baby mama right now. So I'd say we've been together for 3 years. So I'd say about 4 years, right? At the time, I just moved into my first ever apartment. Like this technically wasn't even like my apartment. Like I literally just I got kicked out of my parents' house and I had a buddy that told me I could crash there if I threw him some rent every month. And like, bro, this apartment was just so small and shitty. Like it was literally someone's fucking like extra closet room that they like walled off and turned into a 1 bedroom studio apartment, and it was just like me and bro thugging it out there. But I mean, hey dude, it was that or sleeping on the fucking street, so I'll take that any day of the week, man. But anyway, this story all starts out it's out at nighttime. So I was working as a pizza delivery driver at the time to make ends meet. I was working full time as a delivery driver during COVID. Actually, I worked probably about I'd say like 30-40 minutes from the actual city that I lived in. It was a couple towns over that I worked, so I'd have to hop on the highway and go like, I don't know, 30-40 miles north every day to get to work. So a lot of the time I wouldn't like have time to get shit on the way home from work, you know what I mean? It would be all fucking dark out, everything would be closed, no plugs would be trying to link up with me at that time, you know? It'd be annoying. A lot of the time I would hit up people before I'd get off of work for weed and shit, so I could talk to them then and make a plan for when I get off so I'd have something. This was probably like, I want to say it was about like an hour before my shift ended, right? I get this text from this girl. Boom. She says, I've got ounces right now. I'm trying to sell them both for, I think she wanted like $215 for 2 ounces or some shit. And it looked like good stuff, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It looked like decent weed. A little backstory on this girl, right? Like, I don't have, like, beef with her or anything. But, like, low-key, like, her friends and a couple of my friends didn't get along. So, like, there was, like, this weird animosity between our two friend groups that was there. But, like, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't really have anything against this girl, right? She hits me up and she's got these 2 ounces for sale, right? And I don't have $215 to my name at this point. I probably had like maybe $25 in cash, right? I was just trying to cop a little eighth. But you know, when she said that, the gears in my head get to clicking and I'm like, you know what, dude, I could probably just finesse this bitch for the whole thing, right? And so I text her back and I'm like, yo, would you mind fronting that to me? Like, I know you don't know me very well, but I'll always get you the money back. Knowing damn well I wouldn't, but still. And she hits me back with the, oh, I don't know, I don't really feel comfortable fronting you, blah, 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 blah. And so I start to scheming in my head. I get to thinking. I remember that I had this like fake money that this dude had given me, right? Like it wasn't like good quality counterfeit. It was like this bullshit ass fake money that my friend was giving away, right? He was trying to scam people in school with it, and so he gave me some of it, but it was so bad, like people, like, you took one look at this shit and you would tell it's like fake as fuck, right? And so I remembered I had some of that, right? And it was in my apartment. And I also had like my tip from the night. And I don't know if you've ever worked, like if you've worked delivery, you know this, but when you work delivery, bro, you have probably like $50 to $200 every single night in cash that you just get from tips that you get to take home. So I have probably about like 50-60 bucks all in ones and fives, right? So it looks like a bankroll, but it's really only about 40-50 bucks, right? But it's just all ones and tens and fives. And so what I do is, you know, I say, all right, whatever, we can link up after work, you know, we can link up and I'll buy that for $215, right? And in my head, I'm just thinking, I'm about to finesse this bitch, right? Long story short, I end up getting off of work. It's probably about 11:30 at night, midnight, bro. Like, it was late as fuck. I remember just driving, like, not even seeing a single other car, bro. So it had to be late at night, I remember. But anyway, I get to my apartment, and my homie was still up, the one that I was roommating with. We'll just call him Josh, right? His made-up name. So Josh, when I walk in the door, he says, what's up? I dap him up or whatever. And me and Josh, bro, we were pretty tight, right? Like, he knew about my little ways. Like, we would get into shit together. He would do stuff with me. And, you know, Josh was a pretty good kid, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he wasn't a bad kid. He didn't have a bad family or anything. But he just kind of, he was at a stage in his life where he was kind of dabbling in drugs. You know what I mean? And, you know, we all have that time. And so me and him were pretty tight, bro. So I ended up telling him what was about to go down. And he was laughing with me, and I was talking about it, and I was like, yo, bro, where's that fake money at? And so he goes and he grabs that shit for me, and I'm looking at this fake money, bro, and it literally is so fake. Like, I think it literally said on it, like, prop money. Like, I think it literally said on the bill, like, not intended for use. Like, if you took 2 seconds to look at this shit, bro, you'd be able to tell in an instant that it wasn't real. And so what I did is I took my real bills, like the 5s and 10s and 1s, and I took one of the fake bills and I wrapped it around it, and then I put all the real bills on the inside and a 1 around it, and I put a bunch of rubber bands around that. So it looked legit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I made this shit look pretty real, right? And my thought process is I'm just literally gonna walk up to this bitch, ask if I can see it first. If she tells me I can see it and I grab it, I'm just going to walk off with it. I'm not even going to hand her the money, right? But if she's iffy about it, I'm going to toss her the money and then ask to see it. And while she's counting it, I'm just going to walk off, right? And at this point, I know she's nothing about it. Like, this girl's like a hippie, bro. She's not going to do shit about nothing. And so I get a text from her. Boom, I'm finally in town. Like, where are you trying to meet up? Where we were living at the time was like literally, I'll put a diagram up. Where I was is literally like right behind this parking lot that's behind like the main street. What I knew is that there's this alleyway that you can't drive through, but you can walk through, and you have to jump a gate and do a bunch of other little like parkour shit to get to. I knew that you could cut through there, and it led directly to like right behind my back door, so I could just slip right back in. You know, I ended up telling her, boom, to meet me there. I sent her the location, and she says, all right, I'm here. Fast forward like 5 minutes, she said, I'm here. I put the hoodie on, I put my shoes on, all that shit, and I grabbed the money with the real money, the fake money wrapped in it, and I go on down there, and I just see one car sitting in the parking lot, bro, and I immediately knew it was her, right, because who else would be sitting over there? So I start walking over to the car, bro, and as I'm walking up to the car, I notice there's someone else with her, bro, and it's a dude. She's got a dude with her, bro, and that's when I was like, fuck, like, is he gonna stop? Like, I didn't know who it was. And so I'm just like still gonna go through with this shit. I didn't give a fuck at this point. Like, I really didn't care. Like, at this point in my life, bro, I was going through it. Like, I would have done some crazy shit just for that weed, bro. I think I even had a gun on me. I know I owned a gun at this point, but I don't know if I brought it. I probably did, to be fair. I get up in the back seat of this girl's car because she didn't want to roll down the window. First I walked up to the window and she didn't want to roll it down. She just said get in the back. So I get in the back and I go, boom, like, what's up, what's up? I'm pretending to be all friendly, and this is clearly her boyfriend, right? Like, clearly this is some dude she's messing with. And I think it was probably his weed, too, if I'm thinking about it. But who fucking knows, bro? I didn't stick around to find out. I'm like, yo, can I see the weed? And she's like, yeah, just hand me the money real quick. Let me count it. So I toss her the money real quick, and as she hands me the weed, dude, the second she hands it to me, I already have my fucking hand on the door, and I'm already opening the door. And I have my hand on the weed, I'm opening the door, and I'm already stepping out, and I'm like, thanks, thank you. And she's like, all right, have a good one. Like, she didn't even finish opening the money up yet. Like, she just assumed I was like in a rush or something. And as I'm walking away from the car, bro, like, I didn't even start running or nothing. I'm just walking off, like, towards the little like path that I know about. All I hear is that dude's voice go, hey, get back here. And I fucking took off, bro. I started running so fast. I fucking ran so quick, bro. And it's not even like I was scared of him or nothing, bro. If he had caught up to me, I would have beat the fuck out of him. But it's just that adrenaline you get when you're doing that kind of shit. And it's fun, bro. It's fun to run like that. And so I just took off, and I'm laughing in my head, you know. And I hit the fucking gate. I jumped the gate perfectly. I looked behind me, and they didn't even give chase, bro. Like, that motherfucker, how it's set up is, like, I could see down over the little ledge that I just jumped up. So I know I said I would do a little diagram of how this was set up, right? So my, where I actually hit the lick was down here, right? This was the apartment that it went, or not the apartment, the parking lot that it went down in. Wasn't in this part, though. It was back over here where I actually met the chick. It was literally like, I think like this spot, like right over here somewhere. And so, oh no, it was right over here because I remember running up this path right here. So I think it was actually like literally right there. So I met them like right there. And then I got out of the back seat of the car and I started walking this way. And I was probably to about like right where actually the camera is standing when I heard the dude go, "Hey!" And so then I booked it this way. Which, side note, this guy's flipping off the camera. But, I went this way, and then I ran up this right here, and then if you see up that way, I jumped up the fence thing there, which is, I actually think I might have done this, but this used to not be fenced off, because my apartment's more over here. My apartment was, matter of fact, we'll just go over there. Dude, I find it so funny, this guy's just flipping off the camera. That shit's hilarious. I didn't even know that was like that. I just happened to fucking see it while I was doing that. So yeah, if they wanted to chase me, because obviously they can't drive up that way, they would have had to pull out of the spot, come all the way down this way, all the way around, come to this stoplight, come to this stoplight, hopefully get a green light, then come up this way, and then go all the way up this street, all the way up here, and then catch me coming out from this alleyway right here. They would have had to catch me coming out from right there, but there's no way they would have made it that fast around that whole fucking corner. Plus, they wouldn't even know I was there, and I only had to run literally to right here. That's my old apartment right there. This door back there. Hypothetically, I think I probably could have ran right to my apartment because I'm pretty sure there was a connection back here, but I don't think I knew that because I remember coming up from over here in between these two buildings right here. I remember coming through there because I knew the people that lived on the back porch over there. Anyway, to get too convoluted, that's basically the gist of it. And he was just standing next to his car, bro. He wasn't trying to chase me through all that shit. Because it was like, you know, it was a pretty big jump. And then also it was a sketchy alleyway. And it was like late as fuck at night and dark. And, you don't know what the fuck I'm trying to do. I could pop out from the alleyway with a knife for all he knows, you know. And so I hear them arguing down there. And I'm laughing. And I just kept going. I got back to my place, right? And I'm getting blown up the whole time. I feel my phone going off. I didn't even check it. Immediately, I'm getting calls from this chick. I'm getting texts from this chick. I just went and blocked her immediately. I didn't even look at what she had to say. I didn't care. Blocked her. And then I think I got added up by her boyfriend at some point, too. Obviously, never even accepted his request or anything. I don't give a fuck what you got to say. And yeah, man, I think that was basically the story. I came back home. I think me and my boy Josh, my roommate, were laughing about it all night and talking about it, and we smoked pretty good that night. I think we rolled up a fucking huge blunt, like an eighth in a blunt that night, and faced it. Because there was this one Indian gas station that would sell us backwoods with no ID because we were only like 19 at the time. God, that was such a shitty apartment, bro. It's the worst apartment I've ever lived in. It's literally like the grossest fucking thing ever. Anyway, without further ado, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the videos. But without further ado, have a great rest of your night. Peace.